My family tends to feel like all I ever do is like go to protests, and like I'm super radical, and like that's all I'm doing all the time. And like my opinion isn't really valid because I'm such a wild card, and I'm like, I just think like I'm just kind of at work most of the time, so I don't really think that you need to like just kind of toss my opinion aside, but cool. Is it zoomed in just on the Tegan and Sarah poster and you're like, can't even see me? My name's Rhea. I feel like I've been trying to bounce around into like, I feel like genderqueer works the most, but then I kind of get tripped up on pronouns because I don't have any problem with any of them. So that's like something that I've kind of been like just like questioning myself. But then like orientation wise, I feel totally cool being like a lesbian. And I love the word dyke. It's just my favorite. Well, you know how like when you realize you're gay, you like go back in history to like decipher the times? I feel like there's like different clues that I probably got when I was like a kid, but I ignored them. The main like incident was like when everybody was like picking crushes in like first grade, and I was like, I guess I'll just like pick somebody and go with that because it just like seemed like the easiest thing to do because I wasn't getting any of the feelings that people were having, so I just thought like I guess I'll just like make something up. And I remember picking the guy who was fastest because I thought that that was cool, but I didn't have any feelings for him, but I thought that that would work. I think probably the moment I was like sure was when I was in college, and because I was in a relationship with a guy, and I think it all started to piece together, and then it kind of just like blew up in my head. That's why things aren't like making sense for me. I feel like it was totally different phases. Phase one was like admitting to like my friends that like I was like thinking of girls, just kind of inching towards like what I knew I was kind of the whole time, but not being able to admit it. And I feel like that's always the hardest thing, because then you look back at all the pictures and the things you said, and you're just like, this is so embarrassing. And then how confident you were in things that like you knew were wrong. That was kind of phase one. And then coming out to my family was hard, because it was kind of like, I wish that I could have just done it when I was kind of at a high, but I feel like I kind of had to hit rock bottom in order to do it. Like I had to have like really kind of like just like my heart hurting so bad in order to do it. I was nervous to like for all the things to go wrong, and then they ended up being just like the best and super accepting. And then I think like there's the phase of like coming out in your career, which I think is kind of like hard and weird, just because like you don't want to be boxed in, and you don't want people to think of you as like an artist that's only like a queer artist that is only for queer people and only queer people can watch it. I think I'm still trying to navigate how that's supposed to work, and like which professional people are supposed to know everything about you. I always think that's kind of a weird part of coming out that people don't talk about. So many things. Probably the biggest thing was like being a kid and like seeing queer people, and I mean, I guess this is just like my ring of keys kind of moment, but it's like seeing queer people and being like, oh my God, they're so cool. Like, I can't wait till I'm there. I can't wait till I can do that and hang with those people and like do those things. And then all of a sudden you're doing it and you're with them, and then you're just like, oh my God, this is like everything I thought it would be and more. I get so excited about queer art. I know I was kind of talking about how it's hard sometimes, but I feel like it's also like so beautiful and so awesome to just be around all these people that are so like inventive and creative and like accepting, and like it's just such a cool community for so many reasons, because where else do you get to like just kind of like be who you are and like have no one kind of, I mean, I know there's like hang-ups in the queer community that aren't great, but I feel like we're always kind of knowing that we're supposed to adjust and like always bringing in and being more and more inclusive every day. I think the hardest thing is that even though like I'm so grateful that I got to like get here where I can like do this and cut up my hair off and wear this and be cool and, you know, wear masculine clothes and walk around and feel comfortable. I feel like sometimes it's like hard to stand out everywhere, and I don't even feel like I stand out that much, but then I'm reminded sometimes, and it's like hard, especially like being in the Midwest, just like at the grocery store and like being stared at by like an old lady who like I can tell is trying to guess whether I like, no one taught me how to dress. Like if someone just took me in the wrong direction or something and I'm supposed to be super feminine or something, or that they do think I'm gay and then they're like worried about it, and I'm like, can't I just like get my food. Also, like when you just want to be like a person on a date and you don't want to be looked at, and like you just want to dance with each other and you don't want to be like a porn. Like sometimes I do want to walk in somewhere and be like, she's obviously cool. Like obviously who doesn't want that? But then it's also like sometimes I just want to fly under the radar. Like I don't need to be like the unique black sheep everywhere. I mean, this probably seems obvious, but I think like You're Gay would have been really great. I know I rewatched the episode of Phoebe and Rachel kissing so many times, and I just didn't get it, still didn't get it. So I think it's just like one of those things where I wish somebody could have just been like, this is how it is. It's totally fine. Yeah, your family's like pretty religious, but they're not like as religious as you think, and then you could just step forward and be fine. One thing I really regret is I kind of like just never turned to my family for anything, never asked them advice on anything, and I did that for such a long time. And then I think one of the reasons why I was like, I have to come out to them is because I was like, I went to go home for like just like a family event, and I was like, I like really love being with them. They're like such great people. I don't know why I like cut them out of everything I do. I like grew up mainly with my grandparents, so I had this like thing in my head that like even though they're super liberal, like this is going to be the one thing that's going to be like their 50s mindset is just going to be like, can't handle it. It's too much. I just thought there was just going to be that moment that like, I don't know, like that it's not even who they are, but like this would be the one thing where they would be the stereotype or something. I wish I would have been like, they're there, they can help with stuff.